So we've all been there where we've tried everything to manifest. We've tried visualizing and scripting and affirmations, and we still feel stuck. And believe me, I know how frustrating that feeling is. But the thing is, and what I want to come across in this video, is that the answer isn't in doing more, it's actually in doing nothing at all and more about the feeling. And so Neville Goddard calls this fishing, and it's a really amazing technique that will help you connect to the feeling so that it's easier to live from the wish fulfilled, which you're probably familiar with. I've certainly talked about it before in my videos, and his teachings about living in the wish fulfilled, they still help people all over the world to this day for a reason. I myself have had so many incredible results from it, since I really started implementing this. And so the thing about living in the wish fulfilled is that it is all about the feeling. And this is where this technique comes from, his book called Feeling is the Secret, because it really is. And so this technique really helps you connect further with just that feeling of living in the wish fulfilled, and then it makes it easier for you to live from the wish fulfilled, and not from this place of force, but from this place of trust. And of course, I'm not really advocating for you to not take inspired action on yourself. That's not what it's about. But the thing is that what we actually manifest from is our vibration, is our frequency, aka our feeling, how we feel, right? That's why, when we send out a vibration of desire along with a vibration of noticing that it isn't coming in, and that's what creates resistance, and two different vibrations is the same thing. That when you connect to trust and faith and an inner knowing, that's the vibration that moves in your manifestation vortex. So again, of course, I always encourage taking inspired action on yourself, but it's really the feeling, aka the vibration, that we manifest from. And so, by the way, if you're new here, my name is Lindsay. This channel is all about self and spiritual development and manifestation, of course. And if you are interested in the financial resources that help me turn my life around in that way, as well as some of my own creations to help you shift your energy from one of lack to one of abundance, you'll find those links in the description box below. But let's go ahead and get started. So what is the fishing technique? The fishing technique is a spiritual practice where you drop into the end feeling of a desire, and then you wait and not chase. But I want to make a point here that when I say waiting, I don't mean waiting and obsessing and clinging to the outcome and being extremely attached to the result as if you won't be happy without it. Because the thing is that stems from a lack mindset, and then yet again you're sending out two different vibrations to the universe, one of desire and then one of lack, and that's what creates resistance, right? So when I say waiting, I mean waiting with faith and trust. And the thing is that faith is actually a little bit different than belief, in the sense that belief is kind of, you are going along with the story and it's great and all, but faith is different in that it's an inner knowing, and that's the intention that we want to set, right? So again, you're going to drop into the end feeling of the desire and then wait with faith and not chase. You're going to cast a line, just like a fisherman, of desire into consciousness, and then you trust. And so the catch is that you have to feel the wish fulfilled as if it's already real. And I know that this takes practice, believe me, but it is so worth the practice, because the thing is you won't always have to spend so much time reprogramming and dissolving old programs and oversaturating and all of the repetition and consistency. You just do it in those initial phases until you get the hang of it, and the consciousness has stuck, right? You're not being constantly like yanked back into old programs. So I'm going to read y'all a couple of quotes from his book, as well as just a quick short little paragraph from his book about how he words the formula. And then I'm going to give y'all the step-by-step in my words, because again, I want to make sure that I am repeating and kind of in different ways and giving you his version, as well as, mine a little bit paraphrased and simplified, because again, we just need that repetition to override old programs and solidify the new, right? So the first quote that I want to read y'all is, and this is an important one: "The fisherman doesn't chase the fish. He becomes still. He expects the fish to bite. You must expect your desire to bite." And I don't want your human mind to take over right here and be like, well, sometimes when people go fishing, they don't catch anything. No, that is completely the opposite vibration of what we want to be in for this video. You are the fisherman who always catches the fish, right? And so again, just like the fisherman who always catches the fish, you wait, you become still, and you have a calm knowing, right? So the next quote that I want to read to y'all is, "The line you cast is the feeling you hold. What you reel in, is the reflection of that feeling." Let me read that one more time. "The line you cast is the feeling you hold. What you reel in is the reflection of that feeling." And now I want to read y'all really quick how he put the formula in his book. So he says, "First, decide what it is you want to express or possess. This is essential. You must definitely know what you want of life before you can fish for it." I want to interject really quickly right here, y'all, in between these two small paragraphs, and say that I've talked about this before, that I'm just making an extra point that certainty is absolutely paramount when it comes to your desires and what you want out of life. So if you are still in a place where you are uncertain and you find that you are changing your mind quite a bit, this is really such an invitation and an opportunity to spend a little bit more time with yourself without anyone else's opinions getting in your way, and really connecting to your heart space. What do you want? It is your life. And also, it makes me think of something that always stuck with me from Abraham Hicks, because y'all know that I study her a lot as well, that I was watching this clip of her where she was talking about how there is no difference to the universe between, a shack and a mansion, right? So literally, I don't care what it is that you want. Don't overthink it or feel like it's too big or anything like that. We live in an abundant universe, and there is literally no difference to the universe between, a lion and a lamb, a mansion and a shack, or whatever, So whatever it is that you want, don't think about it being too big or getting in your own way there, because there is no difference. So I don't care what it is that you desire, just go with whatever it is and stick to it and be loyal to it, because the universe will mirror that, and then therefore your reality eventually will as well. So let me get back to what else he was saying. So then he says, "After your decision is made, turn from the world of sense. Remove your attention from the problem and place it on just being by repeating quietly, but with feeling, I am. And so I didn't put this in my step by step, but it was so important for me to read this to y'all, especially the I am part, because it is such a great practice, even throughout the day, y'all, to just say, I am that I am, I am that I am. Because really, what that is an expression of your personal power, which is separate from this human experience that you are having. Because again, and if you caught my last video, you know I was talking about this from Jim Carrey, where he was talking about how where he's at now in his journey is that he feels like the universe experiencing a man, not the other way around. You are the universe experiencing a person and a human experience, rather than a person experiencing the world, right? You are infinity in disguise. And so the human experience is just that. It's an experience, and one of infinite experiences that you will have as an infinite being. So now let's talk about a step-by-step process for the fishing technique. So the first step is that you are going to sit quietly and close your eyes and enter into a relaxed, sleepy, meditative state where your brain waves will start to change and it opens up the door to the subconscious mind. Now, if you are someone who doesn't meditate a lot or really doesn't even, sit still very often and practice these silent moments and kind of being in this sleepy, relaxed state, then I don't want you to worry. Honestly, it just takes practice. You just have to retrain your body. And so when you first start, your body is gonna want to move. It's gonna want to get up. It's gonna want to give up and check your phone and all of these things. We live in a program that really wants to drown out these sleepy meditative states, because that's where you connect to your personal power and therefore the infinite possibility, right? But again, it's completely possible. If you even think about how you went through potty training as a kid, it is completely possible to train our bodies. And so again, if you can just sit and wait and go past that point of wanting to get up and give up, you will begin to retrain your body and dissolve those old programs. You just have to stay consistent and keep practicing, and eventually it will stick. It won't be so hard, and you won't have to spend all of that time oversaturating. Eventually those old things are going to dissolve, and it'll be a lot easier for you to enter into this relaxed meditative state. The next thing that you're going to do is visualize a simple scene from the end of your desire. And I emphasize simple because the thing is actually the desires in our hearts, and certainly the feelings and emotions that are connected to those desires are really simple in nature. It's about the joy and the gratitude that comes with those desires, right? And it's that simplicity and the simplicity of those feelings that is what's in our heart space and what we want to be focused on and set our intention on. And so sometimes when we overcomplicate the scene, it can take away from the simplicity of those emotions and feelings. So again, you want to keep it a simple scene, and you want to visualize the result, not the journey, right? And the next thing that you're going to do is anchor in this feeling, and not through effort, but with a calm knowing, right? Again, just like the fish comes to the fisherman. And then finally, you are either going to fall asleep, which I think is a little bit more powerful than doing it during the day, because again, you are just slipping into sleep and that door to the subconscious mind just opens easily and without effort. but you can also do both. You can do it as you're falling asleep at night or in the morning as well. And if you do this in the morning, then you'll just go about your day after you practice this step-by-step process, and you go about your day not looking for the answers or trying to make it happen, right? So this is even similar to if you caught my last video where I was talking about asking myself certain questions every single day in order to expand my awareness. The questions of who am I? What is my purpose? Am I aware? Those kinds of things. And you ask the questions, and the trick is to ask them and then just let them go, release them, and let the day bring the answers to you. So that's the step-by-step process. And again, it's really simple, but that's really the whole point, and just helping you simply connect to the feeling of living in the wish fulfilled. So there's a few things that people get wrong. I myself am included in this. I have absolutely made these mistakes. And the thing is again, it just really takes repetition and consistency so that these old programs begin to dissolve, and then really all you're left with is the knowing, right? And so a couple of the things that we all do is we try to force the emotion or force the visualization. And we also, wake up immediately and start looking for proof. I've definitely been guilty of that one, as well as this last one, which is repeating too many different methods rather than trusting just one. And there's one more quote from this book of Neville's that I want to read to y'all, which is, "Feeling is the secret. The world will rearrange itself to match your assumption." The fishing technique works because the subconscious mind, it doesn't need action, it needs acceptance. And this technique also creates a relaxed impression on the subconscious mind, which is what the 3D world mirrors back to you. So tonight, choose, or during the day, whichever you prefer, choose one desire and one final scene, and you're going to cast it, feel it, and let it go. And do this nightly or daily or both if you want, and watch as you get the first bite. And again, not watching from a place of obsessing or control, or from a lack mindset of I don't have, but again, practicing that knowing. And that's when you're going to watch and get the bite, right? So I created a fishing technique guide that is just short and simple and will just help walk you through the process. But I really apologize. I don't think that my links are working, and so I'm going to work on that. But for now, I am just going to pin the worksheet prompts in the comments, and that way you can write them down and journal from there. And honestly, I think that writing things down is a bit more powerful anyway, so I'm going to do that for now, and then that way you'll have those prompts and can use those to journal if that's something that you would be into. But for now, I'm going to leave this here. I am so grateful for each and every one of y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank you for your beautiful comments and your likes. It just means the absolute world to me. And go ahead and comment for me down below, "I'm fishing," if you want to send out a signal to the universe that says, I am ready to receive without effort. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new here and if my energy resonated with yours. And as always, just know that I am always rooting for you. I am always pulling for you. I love you. I'm so grateful for you. You're doing amazing. And as always, I can't wait to see what you do.